Good evening, guys. Bill McMillan here with NDWX.com, and a serious flood situation continues to unfold across central Indiana. We're already getting numerous reports of road closures across especially western and north central Indiana. Those will only continue to grow worse and in overall number as we progress through the nighttime and on into the day on Friday, unfortunately, as this prolonged rain event continues to evolve over the next 24 to really, it's not going to be until Saturday afternoon before we finally can say goodbye to the rain. We'll start off by taking a look at the latest forecast radar product here off of the HRRR. And as we put this into motion, just continue to draw your attention to the overall persistent rain, occasionally heavy, as we go through the nighttime and on into Friday morning. In fact, as we progress through Friday morning, the overall coverage and intensity of the rain will grow more impressive, especially from Indianapolis and the northwestern suburbs south into southern Indiana and on into the eastern portions of the state, as what we call a deformation zone sets up. And within this, models can struggle at times with estimating the intensity, and a lot of times, unfortunately, really don't understand how heavy the precipitation can be in the wintertime. A lot of times we'll see overperforming snow events with similar setups, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see rainfall that actually is heavier during the first half of Friday from central portions of the state onto the south and east than what models may suggest currently. Something to keep an eye on, no doubt, and we'll do just that as we go through the night and on into Friday morning. We'll shift gears here a little bit of a different resolution here with this model. This is the high resolution NAM, and as we put this into motion, you see the general theme of continued very persistent and heavy rain at times, continuing into early and mid-afternoon on Friday, and then we will begin to shut things down Friday night. The damage, unfortunately, will be done by that point, with additional rainfall to come from this evening through Friday afternoon of widespread 2 to 3 inches across central and eastern portions of the state. Obviously, just adds insult to injury with what we're dealing with already out there. But for the most part, Friday night and into early Saturday morning will be dry. Unfortunately, it won't last as we deal with one more final round of showers, and some of these could be quite heavy through Saturday morning before drier air will finally win out in more permanent fashion as we go into Saturday evening, and that will set up a much drier close to the weekend with sunshine returning. Before that, though, as mentioned, we've got an additional 2 to 3 inches of rain to deal with across central and eastern portions of the state. And this flood situation is really only in the beginning stages. It will get quite significant and severe in some areas as we progress through the day Friday and on into the upcoming weekend when we start talking about rivers cresting later into next week. Stage is set, though, for a continued chilly pattern as we progress through the end of the work week. I think we stay in the 40s for the most part on Friday, especially across central and eastern portions of the state, where it dries out a little bit across western Indiana. The chances of getting into the mid-50s are certainly there. What is impressive, though, is the overall, let me see if I can back up here. Sorry, guys, we're going to adjust here on a whim during the recording. Just wanted to show you the likelihood of frost and in some cases freeze conditions developing both Sunday morning and Monday morning. This is a look at Monday morning lows. Mid-30s a good bet across central portions of the state. Wouldn't be surprised by a few lower 30s as well, particularly outside of the city. And so we kind of transition from a significant flooding event now and to begin the weekend, to one that is more of a frost and freeze concern for ag interest out there as we close out the weekend and head into early next week. So no doubt about it, quite an active time of things here. One more thing to mention is the strengthening wind out of the northeast that we'll deal with tonight and into the day on Friday. Tightening pressure gradient will result in northeast gusts approaching 40 miles per hour tonight. You factor in all the rain that we're dealing with, certainly an ugly night to be out and about, but also we'll have to be mindful of the potential of a few downed trees with these saturated soils in place, so we'll keep an eye on that and begin to adjust our forecast accordingly for hopefully what will be a less active time of things next week. We'll discuss that and longer range later tonight on IndyWX.com. In the meantime, stay safe out there. Remember to never cross any sort of roadway with water covering or flowing over that roadway. Stay safe, and we'll talk with you soon on IndyWX.com.